which is done through the forestry committee for the residents to cut firewood. The forestry program is kind of, when we started with the Conservation Commission, they kind of oversaw the program, but we never did cutting or anything. If you do a cutting, I believe the school, the estimate on their cutting is around $40,000 that they will get from the land that they're going to be cutting on. Now that's just an estimate because it has to go out to a professional forest company that comes in and cuts, and they bid on it. You send it out, and it's a sealed bid. You know, you get 2 or 3 different numbers on it. On that, how many acres was?
67.
67. So that's more than school land. So there could be, depending on what the inventory of the trees is, it could be some money. Along that line, I would like to see some of that money go back to the forestry committee. I did check on it. We used to have some equipment. I believe we had a chainsaw and we had some PVs for log, turning logs and stuff. We had axes and wedges. We had some pole saws and stuff that because we did go up there and we cut a bunch of fire trails and walkways. But nothing's been done probably for 10, maybe even longer. So we have to really get back into that. So if you could ask for more people to get onto the forestry committee, and then if you appoint me, I will get a hold of Steve Nathan to see if we can at least start maybe doing some of the paperwork. But I appreciate getting here tonight. I really had high hopes of trying to get something going, but I just don't think we're going to be able to do it this year.
Yes, Joe.
Thank you. Thank you, Dana. I did already speak to Karen Marlin about putting an ad in the paper, looking for members for the forestry committee. I do have your application, and after 1 month when we advertise, you will be appointed. So we've already done that part of it. You know what I'm saying? We've already tried to, boost the interest, so to say. So that's been taken care of.
Greg, to clarify, you said we've hired a forester to make a report.
Yes.
And that report is due when?
Well, because of the size of the property, he has to actually physically go out and inventory all the trees. I would expect it's probably about 90 days from the time that we would sign the contract. At least in a month.
I talked to him today. He has the field work done, but now he has to go back and he has to take the inventory, put it all together, and he puts in a nice pack. He does an excellent job, and it tells you what you have and what his recommendations are. And when I talked to him tonight, I think he said it'd probably be done in about another month. Now, I don't know if he means like the end of next month or 4 weeks or what, but it should be ready then.
And of course, I think you're right. Without getting a committee together to oversee this and follow and manage it, it's probably not going to go anywhere.
Yeah, I just think the board should be clear, unless I'm mistaken, this is 2 totally separate programs, correct?
Yes.
The forestry is one, and the citizens going in cutting is another.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think the board was clear on that. It's that.
But they do
kind of work together, I understand. Yeah.
Generally, what we did before with the conservation did it years ago. They had a program done, but they never, and we worked on some of the stuff, but they never went out for a cutting or anything. They just allowed the forestry committee to go in and to start some of the programs, which was cutting fire roads, cutting trails. We made a lot of the gates up there. I don't know if anybody's been up there, but there's gates up at Swan Pond Road, and all those gates were done by the forest committee. We had Phil Terrian and Frank Romeo, different people were on there. They made the gates and they went up, they installed them. So there's been a lot of work done in the past through the forestry committee. So when this program comes through, I would think that what you would do would be have, if you decide, you go through the program, you decide, yes, you want to go ahead with this thing, then most of this stuff would kind of be like overseen through the forestry committee. They wouldn't control it. It's just like the school. The school says yes or no what they want to do, and then I've talked to them about working with students, having student groups. The other thing I'd like to have you consider is if we do get volunteers that for this cutting program, or actually any of the work done up there, that the people that volunteer, they might be able to work under that tax credit program. You know, possibly, because I happened to be up there a while ago in the forest. The fire roads really, they have to be kind of redone, recut out, because it's overgrown so much. So all, like I say, there's the school land, there's the conservation land, and there's town land, but it's all, they all have, are going to have a forestry program. And it just makes sense to me to have the forestry committee, you know, do it in conjunction.
I agree.
And, you know, now,
Sense.
the school land, I don't know how the money goes, but I'm trying to get some from everybody for the forestry committee to buy tools and equipment. But I would assume that the money from the conservation land will go to conservation, from the town land would go back to the general government, and the school would go to the school. But I don't really know.
Excuse me, Mr. Chairman, if I recall, didn't we have a program at the Ives Forest? Well, the Ives Forest, you know, which is at the end of Arlene Drive.
We didn't have a cutting program there. What we had was, we went in there also, and we made some access roads and some trails, and we did a lot of work, and that was way back. They did a lot of work with the Boy Scouts.
Right.
They went up there and did, you know, under the supervision of, you know, adults, they did cutting and trimming and pruning and so on and so forth up there. So I think there's a lot of opportunity to utilize. The forestry should be taken care of. It should be managed. I mean, it's just like a garden. It should be managed. You have to go in and you thin and weed out the bad trees and the trees that are ready for harvesting, because what happens is they get to a point where they decline, and the overstory keeps the understory from growing back up. So what happens is you have a poor growth, and it's just not good for the forest. So if we do these things, then it's a sustainable inventory where you know, I don't know how many years, but it'll be a continual moneymaker, where you can go in and every so many years you harvest that. You either harvest it as hardwood or you harvest it as timber, depending on the type of growth it is. So it's something that'll, you know.
What about, should we or can we be coordinating any efforts through, whether it be the state college program? Because state colleges, I think they have a forestry management major that they offer, some of the state colleges do, and community colleges, as well as, and probably through Essex Aggie, some sort of an extension of a program through there. Wouldn't it behoove us to maybe try and take a look at coordinating some efforts?
Well, I did go. In fact, that's where I graduated from Essex. I got my horticultural degree from Essex Aggie. Yeah. And I did talk to them, and this was a number of years ago, but they were very limited on the students as far as going out and doing anything in any of the cities or towns. Now, I don't know what their program is. I don't know what their program is now, but
once we get some other volunteers other than yourself, maybe we can have the forestry committee look into it, because I think it'd be great if we could coordinate, even the coordination of the planning. I know we're hiring someone to come in and take a look at a targeted area here, but there's more areas. And if the state college system can assist us.
I think the only place left that and I haven't talked to anybody yet, because I was trying to get these going first, I think probably would be the recent acquisition at Eisenhower Pond. I think there's a potential to have that done. And having this professional forest doesn't cost the town any money, in the sense that he does a program, and if you are going to have a harvest, he will wait to get his money out of the harvest money. So you don't really have to, you are obligated for a certain amount just to do the work that he's doing. But he will wait until such time as you have the harvest and you get the proceeds from that harvest to be paid. So really is no upfront money, you know, other than you are obligated. If you decide for some reason or other, you know, we don't want to cut any trees, then obviously it's a wash.
Sounds good.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions?
Thanks, Dan.
Thank you, Dana.
Thank you.
Next item on our agenda are the minutes of July 7th. I take it that June 16th back for
Do
correction.
a little bit of work on that, but they're almost ready. Recall that was the sewer betterment hearing.
Yeah.
So we did that discussion.
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve the July 7th, 2008 regular minutes as written.
Motion made by Mr. Harris, seconded by Mr. O'Leary. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. Correspondence. Read anything? Anyone here for public comment? Next item is accept, I'm sorry.
Excuse me, Mr. Chair, could I thought I had circled something on the July 7th. No, as you know, I was not at that meeting. This reading down here.
What's that?
They all agreed that generally
Page four,
was the priority, and other ways besides raising real estate taxes had to be implemented. For wasting money repairing things instead of fixing them.
As I say, I missed the
Right,
meeting, but,
Doesn't read right, but I
Yeah,
don't
no.
recall, I can't,
yeah.
I don't recall what was actually said at that point.
You think we said that?
No, I don't think it was said that way, I just don't know.
I was absent.
Instead of replacing them, maybe? It would make more sense.
Could be replacing.
Could be replacing, but I don't know what was said. I think repairing refers to just stamping out fires. Fixing is a permanent fix.
I recall.
It wasn't there, so
It doesn't read very well, that's for
Kinda
sure.
rock the boat for.
On the other hand, it doesn't do any harm at this point.
No, I just wanted to be sure I didn't miss something there.
Thank you,
All
Charles.
set.
Okay, accept gifts of land. Mr. Belkonis.
Board members, you have label number 8,
Didn't do correspondence,
copies of the votes that were taken under Article 16 of the April 7th, 2008 town meeting. It provides for the donation of 3 parcels of land, subject to your acceptance and approval. Parcel 1 is 5.2 acres, to be accepted for conservation purposes. Parcel number 2 consists of 5.6 acres, to be accepted for conservation purposes. And parcel number 3 consists of 1.2 acres, to be accepted for municipal purposes. You've received the deeds and the documentation from the individual who's interested in making the donation to the town. Everything has been reviewed and is checked out. The only item that would be required is your decision whether you wish to proceed with this property.
Questions? This has been reviewed by town council, correct?
Yes, it has.
Steve, you had some comments too.
No, I think we're all set on that. I think we had all of our discussion previously.
Yeah.
You know, I think we're ready to move, ready to go. I think there was some issue as to whether or not back taxes were paid and everything's up to date.
We would not bring it before you until
Right.
this time.
John?
No question.
Michael?
There's 2 motions. All right. Mr. Chairman, I move on behalf of the North Reading Conservation Commission to accept 2 gifts of land designated as map 16, parcel 18, off Main Street, and map 15, parcel 58, off Abbott